Attention seniors, if you carry a debit card in your wallet or purse, you really need to hear this. A brand new scam called the Ghost Tap is spreading faster than anything I've seen in years. And criminals are targeting older folks because they know you're more likely to keep your card in easy-to-reach places. Here's the scary part. In just 3 seconds, without ever touching you, they can drain your account. And you may not even realize it until days later. I'm attorney Linda Matthews, and today I'm going to explain exactly what the Ghost Tap scam is, how it works, why your bank may not automatically refund you, and most importantly, the legal and practical steps you can take to protect yourself. So please stay with me until the very end, because I'll also share the one free little item that can make you practically immune to this trick. And the best part? It costs less than a cup of coffee. And if you're watching right now, please hit like so YouTube shows this video to other seniors who need this warning. Also, comment below, have you ever had your debit card hacked before? I truly want to hear your stories. Part 1. What the Ghost Tap scam actually is. The Ghost Tap scam is one of the most unsettling tricks I've seen in my years as a lawyer, because it uses everyday payment technology that most of us have come to trust without question. You see, in the past, debit and credit card theft usually involves someone physically stealing your card, skimming it in a shady ATM, or tricking you into typing your details into a fake website. But the Ghost Tap, it's different. It doesn't require your card to ever leave your wallet, your purse, or even your pocket, and it can happen silently, in under 3 seconds. Here's the technology behind it. Most modern debit cards are equipped with something called NFC, which stands for Near Field Communication. That's what allows you to simply tap your card at a checkout machine, and the payment goes through instantly, without inserting it or typing a PIN. It's convenient, maybe too convenient. Criminals have realized something chilling. If stores can use this technology to take payments, so can they. And all they need is a portable payment terminal, the exact same kind you see on cafe counters or with food delivery drivers. And shockingly, these are easy to buy online. Now imagine this. You're standing in line at the pharmacy, your handbag resting on your shoulder. A man behind you shuffles forward, looking a little impatient. You don't think twice, but hidden in his jacket pocket is a tiny payment reader. As he steps close enough, your card, which is quietly broadcasting its readiness to tap, connects with his device through your bag. And just like that, a small transaction, maybe $40, is instantly processed. You don't hear a beep, you don't feel a vibration on your phone. You simply go about your day, completely unaware. And sadly, it doesn't stop there. Professional scammers use the Ghost Tap in crowded places, trains, buses, shopping centers, even during large events where people are distracted and packed in tight. They might hit you for $30 in one place, then again for $60 later that same day. By keeping each transaction under the bank's fraud detection threshold, often around 100, they stay invisible to security systems. The first time you realize something is wrong is when you finally check your account balance days later and you see a cluster of mystery charges. And here's the truly frightening part. Because no card is stolen, no PIN is entered, and no skimming device is seen, many victims actually doubt anything even happened. They start wondering if maybe they made those purchases and just forgot. And that, my friends, is exactly what these scammers are hoping for. Part 2, why older adults are being targeted. From a criminal's perspective, older adults are a prime target for Ghost Tap scams. And sadly, by now, I've watched this trend grow rapidly in just the past year. Now, it's not because seniors aren't careful. In fact, many of you are far more mindful with your belongings than younger folks. The real reason comes down to 3 things: opportunity, habit, and perception. First, there's accessibility. Many seniors carry their wallets or purses in ways that make them easier to approach without raising suspicion. Think about it. You might keep your handbag looped loosely over your arm, or your wallet in a coat pocket. You might set it down on a counter while signing paperwork, or place it on the seat beside you while waiting for an appointment. In all of these little moments, someone carrying a concealed payment terminal could step just close enough to trigger a tap payment without you noticing a thing. Second, there's familiarity with the technology. While most seniors know what tap and go is, fewer are aware of how vulnerable it can be when the feature is always switched on. Many people still assume that if they didn't physically hand over their card, no payment could possibly be made. But the Ghost Tap thrives on the fact that your card is constantly broadcasting its readiness to connect, whether you realize it or not. I've worked on cases where scammers specifically scoped out environments filled with older adults, community centers, grocery stores during quiet weekday mornings, libraries and pharmacies. They blend in perfectly, appearing as just another shopper, or even wearing a fake staff lanyard to lower suspicion. They know that in these settings, folks are less likely to suspect danger and more likely to be focused on other things, reading a notice board, counting change, or chatting with a friend. And finally, there's a perception problem. Criminals believe, sometimes wrongly, that older victims won't check their bank app quickly or won't notice small unauthorized charges right away. This gives scammers a longer window to hit the same victim multiple times before the fraud is reported. In some heartbreaking cases, I've seen seniors who didn't notice the charges until their monthly bank statement arrived. By that point, hundreds of dollars were already gone. It's a cruel exploitation of both trust and routine. Part 3. The legal gray area and why banks sometimes refuse refunds. Now, this is where my legal background really comes in, because while most people assume that any fraudulent transaction will automatically be refunded by the bank, the truth is, it's more complicated. Banking laws in many countries, including right here in the US, are designed to protect consumers from unauthorized transactions. On paper, that sounds like a solid guarantee, but in practice, the definition of unauthorized can be surprisingly narrow. With a Ghost Tap, your physical card is still in your possession. No one has stolen it, cloned it, or broken into your account online. The payment was made using your actual card's chip and antenna. And here's the sticking point. It happened in the exact way the card was designed to work. From the bank's perspective, the system did its job. A contactless payment was requested, your card responded. There was no PIN failure, no declined transaction, no obvious breach. In cases I've handled, banks sometimes argue that the charge must have been authorized by the cardholder, simply because the contactless feature was active and the card was present. Proving otherwise can be very difficult unless there's clear security footage or a strong witness statement. And because Ghost Tap scammers keep transactions small, banks may not investigate as aggressively as they would for larger sums. Another challenge? Timing. Many banks require you to report suspicious transactions within a very short window, sometimes just 24 or 48 hours, for full consumer protections to apply. If you only notice the charges after a week or two, your claim may be weaker. In some disputes, I've even seen banks suggest that a family member or friend must have used the card with implied permission. That shifts the burden of proof entirely onto the victim. The reality is, yes, you can often get your money back, but it's not always quick. It's not always straightforward. It may involve filing multiple reports, providing written statements, and even escalating to a financial ombudsman or regulatory body if the bank resists. This whole process can be exhausting, and sadly, scammers know that many victims, especially as seniors, won't have the time or the energy to fight that hard. That's why prevention is so critical with the Ghost Tap scam. Once the money is gone, the fight to reclaim it can be far more stressful than most people expect. Part 4. How to protect yourself right now. Now here's the good news. While the Ghost Tap scam is sneaky, it's also one of the easiest scams to block, if you take action today. Criminals rely on two things. 1, that your tap-to-pay feature is always switched on. 2, that you're carrying your card in a place where their device can get close enough to it. If you break either of those conditions, you become an extremely difficult target. Let's start with physical protection. RFID blocking sleeves and wallets are the single most effective barrier against Ghost Tap attacks. These work by creating a shield around your card that stops the radio signal from leaving it. So, even if a payment terminal is pressed directly against your bag or pocket, your card stays completely silent. You can buy these online in office supply stores or even some supermarkets for as little as $5. If you use a wallet with multiple card slots, make sure every contactless card is protected, not just your debit card, but also credit cards, travel cards, or access passes with tap functionality. Another layer of defense is disabling the tap-to-pay feature entirely. For some people, convenience is worth the risk. But for many seniors, turning off contactless payments altogether is the safest choice. You can do this by calling your bank, or in many cases, changing the settings right in your mobile banking app. Once disabled, your card will only work when physically inserted into a machine and verified with your PIN. Yes, it adds a few extra seconds to each transaction, but it completely eliminates the ghost tap risk. Next, think carefully about where and how you carry your card. The closer it is to the outside of your clothing or bag, the easier it is for a scammer to reach it. If it's in your handbag, use an inside zip compartment. If it's in your pocket, choose an inner pocket, preferably on the side away from where people can brush past you. Remember, scammers prefer quick, low-risk moves. If they have to maneuver awkwardly just to get close, they'll usually move on to someone else. And finally, build a simple habit. Check your account every single day. It doesn't have to be time-consuming. Just open your banking app, scroll through your most recent transactions, and look for anything you don't recognize, no matter how small. Ghost tap charges are often kept under $100 to avoid triggering fraud alerts. So don't dismiss a $12 or $30 payment as a minor mistake. If you didn't make it, treat it seriously and take action right away. I've seen clients who, after following these steps, went from being hit multiple times in a month to not having a single suspicious charge in over a year. Prevention really does work here, but only if you put the measures in place before you become a target. Part 5. What to do if you're a victim. Even with all the precautions in the world, scams can still happen. And if you ever find yourself a victim of the ghost tap, remember this: speed is everything. The sooner you act, the better your chances of getting your money back and stopping the scammer from hitting other people. Step 1. Contact your bank immediately. Use the fraud or lost card number printed right on the back of your card. This connects you directly to the department that can lock your card and start an investigation. When you call, be clear and firm. Say, "I suspect a contactless payment fraud called Ghost Tap, and I need these transactions reversed." And here's something important. Ask for a dispute claim number right away. This will be your reference for every future conversation about the case. Step 2, request written confirmation that you reported the fraud. This could be an email or a letter, but make sure it clearly lists the disputed transactions and the date you reported them. That paper trail can be crucial, especially if the bank pushes back or argues you reported too late. Step 3, file a police report. Now, in some areas, the police may not investigate every small transaction, but the report still creates an official record of the crime, and that record can strengthen your case with the bank and is often required if you ever need to escalate the matter to a financial ombudsman service. When filing, give as much detail as possible: where you were that day, the times you noticed the charges, and any unusual encounters you had. Step 4, document everything. Take screenshots of your account showing the unauthorized charges. Write down the names of every bank representative you speak to, along with the date and time of each conversation. Keep copies of all emails and letters. This is not just busy work. In my experience, the seniors who kept the best records were the ones who got their refunds the fastest. Step 5. If your bank refuses to refund you, don't give up. Ask them to put their decision in writing. Then escalate it to your country's financial complaints authority. For example, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, here in the US, the Financial Ombudsman Service in the UK, or the Australian Financial Complaints Authority, AFCA, in Australia. These organizations can review your case independently and often pressure banks to reconsider. And finally, take steps to prevent a repeat attack. Replace your card, disable tap to pay if you haven't already, and invest in RFID blocking protection. Remember, the ghost tap scam thrives on the element of surprise. But once you've been through it and you've put the right measures in place, you become a far less appealing target for future attacks. Seniors, if this warning helped, please share it with a friend so they can stay safe too. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Elderly Mind for more simple, clear advice that protects you and your money. Stay safe, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next video.